Good afternoon, everybody. So what I'd like to talk to you about today is the 5 powers. And Venerable Chodron said to talk about something that I'd had realisations in. Well, I don't have realisations in it, but I'm a bit familiar with it, so I think it's okay to talk about that. So the 5 powers. The 5 powers are those which we use in daily life and which we also use at the time of death. And to be able to use them at the time of death, and I'm not so familiar with the actual ones that are used at the time of death, but we need to familiarise ourselves with the 5 powers during life, because once we get to that time of death, lying on our deathbed, our mind is quite agitated. So we need to have a mind that is calm, and we need to have a mind that has practiced the Dharma. So our mind is one with an understanding that we've lived our life in practicing or doing our best to practice virtue and to eliminate non-virtue. So the 5 powers are called the power of determination, the power of the white seed, the power of familiarity, the power of abandonment, and the power of prayer. So the first one, the power of determination, is the power that we use, or that I use at the time of going to sleep and at the time of waking. And so we need to hold this determination in our mind at all times, really. But when we wake up of a morning, to have a very firm mind that is determining how to live your day. So determining to be able to abandon the self-cherishing thought and to be able to develop the mind that cherishes others. And to do that in our day, so it's good also when you first wake up to reflect on how amazing it is that you've actually woken up that morning, that you still have a precious human life, and that you haven't obviously, you've woken up, you haven't died yet, and so therefore you still have this amazing opportunity to work with your mind and to bring your mind one with the Dharma. So, and of course our highest motivation is that of enlightenment. So determining that you're going to live this life for the benefit of others so that you can lead them to the highest state, that of enlightenment. So this is the determination when you wake up. And also, one thing that I've added to that, that Kabjo Lama Zopa Rinpoche taught last year at High Griva Retreat was, and you have to think about it before you go to sleep so that you can actually wake up with the motivation. And it's to determine that may I lead every single sentient being to the state of Dharmakaya. So may every sentient being be placed in the state of Dharmakaya, so that you lead them to that state. So you yourself have to attain that state. So the second power is the power of the white seed. And so the white seed is our own Buddha nature. So we have that virtue in our mind already. As a basis there, we just have afflictive emotions that cover that, and that arise in our minds when we're put into, or when we find ourselves in situations where we're pushed a bit, and so the afflictive emotions arise, and it's like we have no control over them. So we have to gain control. So, and that wasn't where I was going to go, but anyway. So to gain control over these disturbing emotions, we have to be able to, no, I'm not sure where I was going, I'm sorry. Anyway, so it refers to our Buddha nature, and so we need to develop this Buddha nature. So these disturbing emotions, they're adventitious, so they can be purified, so we need to eliminate them from our mind streams. And we do that through purification practices such as Vajrasattva, reciting sutras, and making prostrations to the 35 Buddhas, etc. And we also have to think too, in not blaming others for these afflictive emotions arising, because they only arise because of the causes and conditions that we've already created, that's already in our mind stream, in our continuum. So therefore, it's our fault that they're arising, it's not anybody else. And to also have compassion for the people you're around who may be acting negatively towards you, but that is because of their own disturbing emotions, and you have to have kindness and compassion and understanding for them. So, and also to nurture our own Buddha potential through accumulating merit. So we accumulate merit through our practice, through being virtuous, through prayer, etc. And one way to accumulate merit, one very good method, is through the 7-limb practice. So either to recite the very short 7-limb practice, or in so this is what I like to do, but I don't have it at the moment. So in the first volume of Lamrim Chenmo, there's the 7-limb prayer, and it's set out in the chapter, and I just like to recite those verses of a morning. So, and also the next power is that of familiarity. So we constantly need to familiarise our mind with bodhicitta, with cherishing others, with abandoning the self-cherishing thoughts. So this should be really foremost in our mind at all times. So when you walk past an altar, you can think bodhicitta. You can think abandon the self-cherishing thought. I must work on my mind. I must cherish others. I must develop this in my mind. And as Venerable Getso says, he says to just bring the 2 levels of thought to mind, that of conventional bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta, has a huge impact on the mind. And the last thing we do before going to bed or going to sleep at night is to think about the 4th power, and that's of abandonment or repudiation or purification. So we need to reflect on our day. We need to be quite critical of how we've been through the day, where we've generated virtue, where we've generated non-virtue, and we rejoice that we've generated virtue, and we can dedicate the merit from generating that virtue to all beings, to all sentient beings. May they attain the highest state of enlightenment as quickly as possible. And we need to generate deep regret for any negativities that we've caused to others and generated in our mind, so that we can purify those and eliminate those. And the last power is that of prayer, and so that's aspirational prayer, and it's similar to abandonment, because we're reflecting on the virtue that we've created, we're reflecting on the non-virtue. So really rejoicing in your own ability to create virtue. And also a kind of aspirational prayer that we're able to generate a mind that wishes to practice, generate a mind that will have the contentment and the desire, the wish to actually sit down and work on the 7-fold cause and effect method to generate that highest intention for all beings, to continue to practice the 5 powers, to think about them morning and evening, and morning and night, and to remember that it's the goal of the Bodhisattva to destroy the self-cherishing thought. Yeah. So, and just interestingly, I had one of the Dove chocolates from the Sog last night, and it's the first chocolate I'd eaten since I've been here, and I rejoice because I'm very attached to chocolate. Anyway, it says happiness is 1 bite away. Well, that is not correct. Happiness does not come from out there. It comes from virtue. So that's all. Thank you very much.